In a time of darkness, one man dared to speak for God. He stopped the rain, raised the dead, and called fire from the sky. This is not myth. This is the story of Elijah, the prophet of power. Drought-choked skies suddenly broke at his command, and atop Mount Carmel, divine fire consumed the sacrifice from a clear blue sky. Now prepare to enter a supernatural world, 7 awe-inspiring wonders that challenge nature and defy explanation. This is a faith-fueled journey into the miraculous. In the pages of the Old Testament, one prophet stands out for his bold faith and miraculous acts: Elijah, a man of fire, fearless before kings, and deeply devoted to God. Today, we'll uncover 7 powerful miracles of Prophet Elijah that prove God's power through his chosen servant. 1. Drought pronounced. Elijah's first miracle was not of mercy, but of judgment. He stood before King Ahab, the most wicked king in Israel's history, and declared, "There will be no rain or dew for the next few years, except at my word." 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. And just as he spoke, the heavens shut. Not a single drop fell for over 3 years. God used Elijah to silence the skies and call a nation to repentance. 2. Fed by ravens. While the land suffered, God provided for his prophet. In a remote ravine near the Jordan, Elijah drank from a brook, and every morning and evening ravens brought him bread and meat. 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 4 to 6. Even in isolation, God provided through the most unlikely messengers. 3. The jar of flour and jug of oil. In the town of Zarephath, Elijah met a widow preparing her last meal. She had only a handful of flour and a little oil left. But Elijah said, "Do not be afraid. The jar of flour will not run out. The jug of oil will not dry." And from that day forward, through the entire famine, they never did. 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 14 to 16. 4th, raising the widow's son. Tragedy struck when the widow's only son died, but Elijah carried the boy to his room, stretched himself over him 3 times, and cried out, "Lord my God, let this child's life return." 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 21. The child came back to life. It was the first recorded resurrection in the Bible, proof that even death must bow to God's voice. 5. Fire from heaven on Mount Carmel. In a fiery showdown with 450 prophets of Baal, Elijah challenged them to a contest. The God who answers by fire, he is God. He prayed once, and fire fell from heaven. The people fell on their faces and cried, "The Lord, he is God." 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 36 to 39. 6. Rain returns. After 3 years of drought, Elijah prayed again. 7 times his servant searched the sky, and finally a small cloud appeared. Soon thunder roared and rain returned. God restored what was lost through a prophet's persistent faith. 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 41 to 45. 7. Parting the Jordan River. Near the end of his journey, Elijah took his cloak, struck the Jordan River, and the waters parted. It was a final miracle, a symbol of transition and power, as Elijah prepared to hand his mantle to Elisha. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 8. And then, without tasting death, Elijah was taken up to heaven in a chariot of fire. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 11. A fiery end to a life lived in fire. Elijah wasn't just a prophet. He was a vessel of power, purity, and prayer. His story isn't just ancient history. It's a reminder that when one person stands with God, anything is possible. Which miracle amazed you the most? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories of faith.